Good evening and welcome to Series 2, Episode 19 of Oxsports Unleashed. And yeah, we've tidied up our intro there. Looked a little bit clearer than normal. So our thanks to Wes Spearman. So wherever you're watching us, in your bathrooms, your jacuzzis, your hot tubs, your greenhouses, wherever you are, thank you for joining us live on a Thursday evening at Oxford Downs Cricket Club. Thank you very much. And we've got a packed programme again for you tonight with an absolute exclusive, an interview with the legend that is Mick Shannon. You got to stay tuned to watch that, guys. It is awesome. It is part one of a two-part interview because we like to keep you on tenterhooks. We want to keep you involved and keep you watching. So yeah, stay tuned for that. That's coming up in around about 35-40 minutes time. But yeah, stay tuned. It's well worth it, I can assure you. And as you can see, the eagle-eyed amongst you, notice that KDog is not in the building, so it's obviously going to be a much more professional show tonight with a legend that is the roller coaster ride. Colin, welcome.
Evening, chaps. Nice to be here again. Shall we start off with some bad news, shall we?
Yeah,
Get it out of the way
then.
quick.
Yeah.
Okay, so we start off this evening with Ross Jenkins, the Oxford City manager, talking after Oxford City's 7-0 defeat at home to Buxton on Saturday. Here's Ross Jenkins chatting about that defeat.
Ross, to say it was a difficult day today is perhaps the understatement of the century. Give us your thoughts on that one.
Deflating, disappointing. Difficult day to take, really. I thought we looked extremely leggy, tired. Definitely not like the last 4 games we've seen. So we need to look at that. We need to look at what we've done with the players because I think that sort of performance is so far away from where we've been. We need to look at it because we can't come off the back of those sort of performances against some top teams like Chester's and Scunnies, and Kings Lynn away was hard. Forest Greens, Woking have then sort of performed like that. So we need to look at it as staff and look at what we've done. But yeah, obviously the red card doesn't help, and conceding 3 goals in probably 8 minutes in the first half don't help. So yeah, we looked really off it. Legs, we looked slow. We looked half a yard off it, and I thought they were very bright. Give credit to them. They looked on the front foot, sharp, positive, really bright in their play. So give them credit, but I thought we was really off it today.
So Ross Jenkins there talking about Oxford City's 7-0 defeat at home to Buxton. Now, I must admit, Woodsy, when I was doing post-match interviews, I was always a bit nervous about going up to a manager after a 7-0 defeat. But, you know, fair dues, they come out, they chat, and I'm not sure I would do that, would you?
No. Especially this week, as Rob Key's come out saying that a lot of England cricketers talk a lot of nonsense after losing a game. So he's come out quite candidly on that just this week, believe it or not. Unfortunate loss there. One of the heaviest defeats, as mentioned. Patrick's turning away as producer. That takes us on to our regular feature of Lyon Ryde, or as I like to call them, Ash, Misty and Brock. Lyon Ryde.
Yes, a mixed bag of results last weekend. Started early as Oxford United travelled all the way up to Norwich City where the U's picked up a very valuable point, Paul.
Yeah, I think that's a really valuable point away from home. Norwich is never an easy place to go, ex-Premier League team. And for Oxford United to be competing against a team like Norwich is really good. And that point is really important. Like we said last week, the games are running out now. They've got a bit of a cushion between them and the bottom 3. And if they can just get another 3 or 4 points, then they should be able to stay clear of relegation. So really valuable point that was.
Patrick Locke, did you witness Oxford City's worst ever home defeat in all the time you've been sporting the hoops, Patrick? I know you said the U's then, but it was in fact the hoops that you were watching, wasn't it, on Saturday?
Yeah. My personal records, it's not there on its own, but it's a record equaling defeat that I've seen City at home. There is one other, which I'll touch on in a minute. Yeah, it was just one of those days that everything went wrong for City, everything went right for Buxton, really. I was sat near the press box after the game, getting the video footage of the game, and I overheard their press man say, "The best stat I was about today is we had 7 shots on target." So basically, they scored every time that they had a shot on target, which I guess shows how clinical they were. But at the same time, there was some shocking mistakes from City, really, some like really uncharacteristic mistakes, especially if you've watched the games from the past few weeks where City have been so good at the back. So yeah, I don't really know what happens on Saturday, really, just one of those days, really. But I'd like to say you just have to try and brush those results off and try and not repeat them the week afterwards. And if you go and win, even better. But with City's position at the moment, it's definitely a bad result. And even worse, makes the goal difference even worse when you're kind of fighting relegation as well. So who knows? But what I will say, though, which is why I've left this towards the end, is that the last time I saw City lose by 7 goals at home, they went and beat Boston 7-2 3 days later in the league. So
there, isn't there? Yeah. So that's
there's
it.
always hope. There's always hope. But
And again, we'll touch on Kevington in a minute because it's a topsy-turvy old role. But okay, Reece Freak got a straight red. Was it a straight red, Patrick?
I have to say it is, yeah. I mean, at the time I was behind it, and I thought it was just him going for the ball high up, and it was 2 players going for the high ball, and perhaps a little bit harsh. But when you watch the video back, it's a definite red card. You can't complain at all.
Okay, Paul, tough times at City. How on earth do they pull back from defeat like that, especially because they're going to lose Reece Fleet? And we're told that Josh Ashby's also the maximum number of levels, maximum number of yellow cards, which means that he's going to be out for a while as well, Paul.
Yeah, it's difficult, isn't it? You've got 11 games of the season left, and you certainly don't want your form to disappear. And when you've got players like Fleet and Ashby missing, that's going to be tough, as we saw last season in the National League when we had Fleet, Ashby, and McEachran missing. It was really hard to get any rhythm to the team, and results weren't coming our way. And I think City now, they're 2 points clear of the relegation zone now, and it's going to be a bit of a dogfight for the last 10 games. And I think they've got enough about them to get enough points to stay up. But you do worry when they're not getting wins, they're getting draws, or they're losing, and they need to get these odd wins every 2 or 3 games just to get a win and get 3 points on the board. And it's really important. So some tough games coming. I think they've got enough about them, but certainly could do without losing Fleet and Ashby at this time of year.
Okay, Patrick, Banbury also lost, but by nowhere near the same margin as Oxford City.
Yeah, narrow defeats. They went away at Hale's own town. They lost 1-0 to a second half goal from Kieren Donnelly. Obviously, they've been drawing a lot of games recently themselves, so still kind of towards the bottom of the table, despite picking up points here and there. I mean, they remain 16th in the division as it stands at the moment. It's 6 points above the drop, and I've been saying in recent weeks that they've probably got enough points to be safe, but 6 points with this long left in the season, you may just start looking over your shoulder again. So yeah, obviously a tough defeat for them against Hale's Own, but I mean Hale's Own are a good side. They're pushing for the playoffs as well. So yeah, tough defeat there for Banbury.
Meanwhile, Didcot Town had a 440-mile round trip down to Helston in Cornwall, and they came back with all 3 points, Patrick.
Yeah, much better weekend for Didcot and actually the rest of our Step 4 sides that we'll hear about shortly. And obviously, when you make that length of travel to an away game, it's always better when you come back with 3 points, isn't it? So yeah, they won 3-0 at Helston Athletic. They were 1-0 up after just 2 minutes. Dylan Conlon opened the scoring early doors. But it was 2 second half goals from Zach Scott and Sam Barder to complete the big rout on the day. Obviously, a day that they remembered Bob Worth as well after his passing last week.
No long trip for Tame United, and they've moved into the playoffs after an emphatic win on Saturday, Patrick.
Yeah, much more local trip for them. Just a couple of junctions down the M40 to Chesham United. They face their former tenants, actually, Aylesbury United, who played at the ASM Stadium for a few years back. all 3 goals for them came in the first half. Ty Deacon scored in the first 10 minutes, Finn Murray after 20 minutes, and then Braden Daniels scored in first half stoppage time to basically complete the routes there in the first half. They saw out the second half with no goals conceded. So yeah, big win for them there, which actually takes them into the playoff positions now. So yeah, a massive result for them.
Meanwhile, Kidlington, I mean, what a season they're having so far. They parted company with their manager last week after they suffered a similar sort of rout and mauling that Oxford City suffered last Saturday. And who'd have thought they'd have actually bounced back to win 2-1, having gone 1-0 down as well, Patrick? I mean, it's a funny old game, this football, like, isn't it, Patrick?
Yeah, I mean, it was a massive game for them. It was against Leverstock Green, who were below them in the table. So 2 teams in the relegation zone fighting for their lives. And yeah, as you say, it went 1-0 down in the first half, but came back through Fraser Allen and Charlie Bacon to bring the points back to Oxfordshire. It's a win that takes them just 1 point away from safety in the division now. So who knows, another win or 2 could see them come out, and then the pressure's all on Northwood to win their games in hand to go back up. So yeah, we can hear the thoughts from interim manager Brad Chalmers after the match. He was saying about actually how it's quite a slope pitch, I think, at Leverstock Green, so that played a big part. But yeah, here's what he said to the Kidlington media team at full time.
Your take on a big win in Leverstock?
Yeah, mate, bit emotional towards the end, Chaz. Yeah, scrappy game, wasn't it, mate? Scrappy game is always going to be. I mean, credit to Leverstock, they were a much better team second half. We just weren't out of the races for whatever reason, because you just take a win no matter how they come, don't you, mate? Yeah, just scenes at the end, mate. Scenes. I thought second half, like I said, it was just such a scraping game with it, mate. But we dug in there, and the character and the effort and the desire was there. Everything was there today, mate. We could have just really thrown the towel at 1-0 down, but we did it. Second half, we raised it uphill as well. We wanted to win the toss first half to go downhill, and yeah, mountain to close second half, literally. And now the boys are quality, mate.
And just before we move on from Kidlington, there's some further news on Sunday, as they've appointed Aidan Horton as their new manager until the end of the season. He, not a stranger to Kidlington, he was part of the coaching staff last season. So yeah, wish him all the best there, and hopefully he can guide them to safety in the remaining 10 or so games in the remainder of the season.
So there's a bit of hope for Kidlington, but not a lot of hope for North Lee, Patrick.
No, they were beaten on their travels again. They fell to a 3-0 defeat at Stotfold. Yeah, it's hard to see, unfortunately for them, where they're going to be able to get the points to stay up now. I mean, it's probably 6 or 7 wins, isn't it? And for a team that's won once all season, it's a tall ask, isn't it? So yeah, obviously be sad to see them go down. But yeah, looking like it's going to happen a bit, unfortunately.
Yeah, I think it looks likely to be so. Meanwhile, Paul, if you want to go and see your beloved Manchester United, you've got to pay an absolute fortune. On the other hand, you can go and see Whitley Town for nothing, and they're good value because they got another win on Saturday, didn't they, Paul?
Yeah, played away at Woodstock, won 1-0, tight game, but keeps Whitley top of the league. Oakley are pushing them hard, but we're doing okay. I think there's about another 8 or 9 games left to go, and fingers crossed we should be on target for promotion. But some tight games in there. Suffering from a few injuries now. It's that time of the season. Goalie's injured, so we've got a sub goalie in, and a lot of our experienced players. I think the bones are creaking a bit, having played a lot of games. But we've got some young players as well who are doing really well, and yeah, as long as we can stay at the top for another few weeks and get some more results, I think we'll be okay.
Okay, Patrick, tell us what else happened last weekend with our other local Oxford football teams.
Yeah, unfortunately, Step 5 results weren't so successful this week as the Step 4 results we've just heard. Wallingford and Crowmarsh were the only side from Oxfordshire in Step 5 to get a point this week. They drew 2-2 with Harefield United. Ellis Hercules and Harry Bonner, the 2 goals there for the ones. Elsewhere, there were defeats for Milton United, who lost 3-1 at Burnham, and Ardley United were beaten heavily at Edgware and Kingsbury 5-0. So bad defeat for them there. And Easington Sports' tough spell in the United Counties League continues as well. They were beaten 3-0 at home to Elston Park. Obviously still looking for their first win of 2025. Hellenic Division 1 in Step 6, again headlined by Clanfield, who are in fine form at the moment, scoring freely. They put 5 past Newent Town on Saturday. 4-0 at half-time through Finn Baker, Ben Weller and a Tiger Hall brace. Ruben Harry completed scoring in the final 10 minutes of the second half. So, yeah, big win for them there. Wantage Town also had a big scoreline. They won 4-0 against Cheltenham Saracens. And yes, as every week, Callum Crook and Stephen Robertson were on the score sheet again. Lewis Hutchinson also got himself a goal there to complete a big win for them. Casterton, they got a draw. They drew 2-2 at home to Bewdley Town, but there were defeats for Abingdon United and Kidlington Reserves. They fell to Redditch Borough and Shortwood United, respectively. On Sunday, there was a celebration of International Women's Day, which fell on Saturday this week. Sadly, it ended in defeat for Oxford United and Abingdon United. They were defeated 1-0 by Exeter and 2-0 by AFC Bournemouth in their respective fixtures. But Oxford City won at Selsey 3-0 with goals from Kitty Crouch, Anna O'Leary and Ellie Wilecki. So a good result for them there to keep up their charge on the leaders at the top of the table. So that is what happened this weekend, Colin.
Sounds to me as though you might have to plunder the Oxford City women's team to get a few decent players in there. Roll on mixed teams, I say. In the meantime, though, thank you so much, Patrick Locke and Paul Lyon, and back to the main studio for much more Ox Sports Unleashed.
Our thanks there to Ash, Misty and Brock, Locke, Lyon and Ryde. Fantastic roundup of last weekend's football. We say it every week, but thanks to those guys, because it's they record that and put it out with so much information. It's something you don't get anywhere else. So it's a really good segment. And we've got some good news as well, haven't we, on the football front?
Finish up Lyon Ryde with saying that if only the women's Oxford City ladies could help the men out, but. There's been some good news for Sam Rose, Oxford United ladies manager. He's been put forward for the manager of the month. So well done for him. So the game is getting more enthusiasm, I think, like the women's cricket game as well. So well done to Sam for hopefully being forward for that recognition there.
3 wins out of 4 in that month. So all good stuff. That takes us from the round ball to the puck and our roundup of Oxford City Stars. And unfortunately, they came out with a 5-4 loss to Solent Devils. And the scorers Ross, Giroux, Hemmingsmayer and Persson were the scorers for Oxford City Stars. But not too bad. They're getting some results and they're keeping the scoreline a little bit closer. That was a bit of a thriller last week. So that takes us on to their fixtures this week, which is a tough one. Invicta Dynamos. But it is at home. It is at the Ox Pens on Sunday, the 16th of March, and the face-off is 6:15. It's well worth going. We've said before, get down to the Ox Pens and watch a game of ice hockey. It's enthralling stuff, I can assure you. You'll have a great
wrap
time.
Up warm.
Do wrap up warm. Take your bobble.
Yeah.
That's for sure. And there was a birthday just recently for kit manager Darren Turner. And I know what you're thinking. Was there a puck incident there? But we'll move swiftly on from that. But happy birthday, Darren. And I think that they're the sort of people that don't get mentioned too often. Absolutely, and they are so crucial to any club. And it's great that they've got a kit manager there down at Oxford City Stars. So I hope you had a great time on your birthday, Darren. And keep up the good work at the Ox Pens.
Indeed. Right, we go back to football now, and we hear from Steve Potts as Whitley Town return to the top of the league. We haven't got that we haven't got the interview, but it is good news because Whitney Town are back top of the league. First season back in the league for quite a long time now. Of course, Paul Lyon is part of that team behind the scenes to try and get them back where they belong. So they're in with a shout of topping the league and winning the league. They're also in with a shout of various silverware as well in cups as well.
Yep.
What a great story it has been for the first season back in existence for quite a long time. So fantastic news.
It's been great to follow them.
It is, yeah. Right, we've got some midweek action as well. Bad news for Oxford United. They lost 2-1 away at Hull. That season starting back down the league. Unfortunately, there's another home game on Saturday against Watford, which is becoming a must-win game. Teams around them start to pick up points and put a bit of form on. Interesting, the Oxfordshire Senior Cup, one of these games which really is great news for lower league sides. And Tame United and Ardley are through to the final. That's another good one. Not too sure what it's going to be.
Yeah.
I know I covered it before out at Banbury. And Jefferson Louis was back in defence at the start, and then he went up front towards the end and managed to see Tame United through. Tame United, we heard in Lyon Ryde, are also now into the promotion slots as well. So they're doing very well in the league as well. Not so
Long
good
may
news.
it continue.
Yeah, indeed. Not so much good news for Killington. Laid us 2-1 in the week, and Northley also lost 3-0. Killington are, well, a bit of form has picked up recently at a win, as we heard in Lyon Ryde at the weekend, but they couldn't follow it up with another win as well. So mixed bag results during the week, but great news that Tame and Ardley are through to the final of the Oxfordshire Senior Cup. Where are we going next then?
I think we might have some footage from the Ardley game.
Oh, right, we do.
So we'll show you the game there, Ardley in the Oxford Senior Cup semi-final. There is no commentary on this, so corner coming in, nodded in, off the post, off the line. Has it gone in? Hasn't it gone in? It's gone in. There you go.
No VAR, I think.
That was like 1966 all over again. Good penalty taker there. Well done. Loving the camera angles. And now is an interview with manager Jules Calman.
Senior Cup semi-final. We've now booked ourselves a place in the final. Can I get your thoughts on that this evening?
Delighted for my players. They've had a very long and probably difficult season. We're not as well resourced as some clubs, so nights like tonight, it weren't just special on the field, it's special off of it. It sort of put this club back on the map, if you like. But we always felt we had a chance. We said that in the change room before, and similar to ourselves, we got some young kids that are just learning their trade, and that's what them boys are. There's some very special talent in Oxford's side, but they're still kids. And I asked my team to go out and make it a non-league game. And it's all right having these ideas, but for the team to actually execute it the way they did, limit them to very little, and walk away with a clean sheet and a 3-0 victory, I'm just so proud. And like I just said to him, we now got to go on and lift that cup. That's the most important thing now.
I think I speak on behalf of everyone at Ardley that it would be an amazing way to end your time here as manager with a piece of silverware. How important is that mission now for you? Yeah, look,
I've thoroughly enjoyed my time at this club, and I'm a winner. I always want to win. It's sometimes my downfall because I get so heavily invested, and when things don't quite go the way that you should do, I'm probably my biggest critic. So yeah, it's important to win something for the club, not for me. There'll be other managers that will come and go from this great club, but this club deserves to be winning things and deserves to be pushing up the league. So for me, I just want to win something for this club. It's a sentimental thing. We'll have a good drink and I'll still be around, but I just want to win something to start this club's winning mentality again, because it deserves to be there.
Thank you very much, Jules.
No problem.
Thanks to Jules there in a new coat. I thought he was going, but he's got new kit. What's that all about? Thanks again to Jules. Always entertaining. Always says it as it is. So always good to get after-match interview with that young man. That's for sure. And we do now have the interview from Whitney Town assistant manager Steve Potts, and we'll show that to you now.
So we've great game to watch today. What were your views of today's match?
Yeah, we're pleased coming out of that. We knew that was going to be a lively affair, having played at our place a couple of weeks back. So we knew what we were up against. We knew what we had to do here. And I think we've done everything that can be asked of us in really difficult circumstances. We knew that we needed to move the ball quickly, protect ourselves, and try and play at our tempo and try and play our style of football. And I think for sort of 60, 70 minutes we've done a really good job at doing that. It's difficult. Last 20 minutes they were going to try and get a little bit scrappy with us. It's not the sort of football we really want to see. But again, the lads have protected each other out there, and they've really got amongst it. And managed to see the game out in difficult circumstances again.
Well done. Congratulations.
Cheers.
Thanks there to Steve Potts, Whitney Town assistant manager on their good run of form. So top of the league, as Colin alluded to earlier. So all good. And that brings me quite nicely to what we're actually after on Oxsports Unleashed is any footage from any game of football, whether it's down the local park in whatever division you're playing in. It would be great to have some footage, and there might even be a goal of the season contender in there, because that's coming up in the next few weeks for sure. So we have got some good goals. Probably not at the standard of last year, I don't think, actually, but there are still some crackers. So we will be voting on those at some point. So as always, if you've got anything, any sport, and you want to showcase it on Oxsports Unleashed, please do send it to us at our email address. We will put on the screen there for you, oxsportsunleashed@gmail.com. That's oxsportsunleashed@gmail.com. We will use it, and we've said it before, if you're liking what you're seeing on the programme tonight, please subscribe, like, and hit that notification button on our YouTube channel, and then you'll never miss a trick. You'll never miss us. You'll know when we're on, when there's a YouTube short or whatever we might be doing for your viewing. So please do like and subscribe, and as I say, send it to any footage whatsoever to oxsportsunleashed@gmail.com. Now, I had the pleasure of interviewing young Brad Axe a couple of weeks ago. We've showed part 1 2 weeks ago. We're now showing part 2 of the interview, and this again is very insightful and very honest from Brad. Enjoy this part 2 of the Brad Axe interview.
So exciting times then. The next fight, as we say, is in April at Stamford Bridge, I understand?
Yeah, at Stamford Bridge Football Stadium. So it's again exciting. Like that, little things like that help build the profile, build my reputation. And on the fight week, they're having the face-off at the Chelsea versus Tottenham game, half-time. Me and our team and the American team will be facing off and stuff on the pitch, and yeah, it's exciting.
That's brilliant, isn't it? I don't know what the audience were like in America. I'm assuming quite large audience there, but that's a captive audience in a football stadium.
Yeah,
of quite.
They were good out there, to be fair, and they loved us, and they all took photos and stuff after, and they're very supportive, and everyone said how much of a nice bunch and stuff we all were as a team that went out there. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see how it is the other way around.
Again, this always fascinates me because we always try and build friendships from teams that we play against. People you box and perhaps the training team of the people you box. Do you sort of keep in touch? Is there a sort of a family sort of type of thing? You have a friendship?
Like social media and stuff nowadays is massive, isn't it? So you sort of follow each other on social media, and I've sort of been following Julian's story and what he's been doing since, which has been interesting. And he follows me and likes my stuff, so you sort of just build that relationship. So we're not like best of friends, do you know what I mean? But you do sort of have that mutual respect, because ultimately you both got in there, you both sacrificed your life, as hard as that sounds. That's what you're doing, getting in there, isn't it? Punching 10 rails with rug shab each other. And yeah, you have that mutual respect. So that is nice, to be fair. Don't get me wrong, there is some boxers out there that have that sort of, there's a bit of a hostile environment and stuff for people, but you see that on the build up, they have the fight, and then after they shake hands and leave it as it is, which is, it's nice, and it's nice to build that relationship with each other.
I think it's all part of it, isn't it? Actually, and it's, you know, at the end of the day, it is entertainment, isn't it? You know, that's what you're providing for the supporters there. So there's got to be a bit of that, hasn't there? You know,
of course there is, and it sells the fight. You know, like the big fights to happen, and if there's not that little bit of hostility with the build up and stuff, then actually it's a little bit more boring, isn't it? If everyone's shaking hands and being all nice to each other, it's not what the fans want to see. They want to see a bit of build up. So
it's character, isn't it? It's character.
I do find that hard at times, because as I'm sure you well aware, Darryl, like I feel like I'm a very nice guy. I get along with everyone. So even my last fight, actually, me and my opponent, we both obviously weighed in at the same time. Then we did go together to food together, but we went for a Nando's, and he's like sat over there, and we were talking and stuff, and like it's hard then to switch up and be like, right, I'm gonna beat you up now. But you find a way.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, it's your trade, isn't it? At the end of the day, and that. So yeah. How's that sort of work-life balance? You know, with your other job that you do, is that working well for you as well at the moment?
Yes, I mean at the minute, especially with this camp, it's teed up quite nicely with what courses and stuff I'm on at work, so it's working well. That one in America, it was a bit hectic, to be honest, because I was lead instructor on a trainee firefighter course, and that was brilliant. Like I absolutely loved it, and work-wise, it gave me a lot of opportunities as well. Then obviously I got the phone call for this fight. I couldn't say no, and it was busy. But again, it's all about the cheese of life. You've got to cut out your correct segments, and I just felt like at that time, for that little period of time, made my family life, it wasn't so much to them. But again, my wife's very supportive, and she sort of picked up the pieces when I wasn't there. I didn't get home till 10 o'clock at night, which helped.
And going out to America, did they enjoy that experience? I'm sure they did, but
they absolutely loved it. Yeah, like I say, I was able to take my wife and my son with me, and then my wife's uncle and my brother come with me as well. So surprisingly, and one of my sponsors as well for the company that I'm working for at the minute, Fireback Racing Services, Adam Harper, he actually came with as well. So not for the full duration, Adam didn't come, but he was there for the fight. And to have that support when you're that far away in a completely different country, that was it was incredible, and it made it a lot easier for me to deal with. But yeah, overall, I think they all had a good time, regardless of the result. They had a good time over there.
It sort of makes it extra special, doesn't it, to have?
Of course it does. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, no, that's really nice. Look, I think this is absolutely fascinating. Who are you actually fighting at Stamford Bridge? Who's your opponent?
So it's actually changed recently. There's a guy called Caleb Hall now, his name is. I think he's actually predominantly a MMA fighter. He's had like 20 odd MMA fights, but he's had three professional boxing fights now. He's won one, lost one, drew one, I think. So not a too dissimilar record to me. I've had two, lost one. Had three, won two, lost one. So yeah, it'd be good. Ready to smash his face in.
Yeah. I love that. Smash your face in. That's brilliant. It's a real insight into boxing, and you know what goes with it. You know, the family life and so on and so forth. It's really interesting from my perspective. I must admit, it's great to hear that you know family are enjoying the experience alongside you. Really,
of course, that's it. And like my son, he does a little bit of boxing here and there. I'd never pressure him into anything, but he loves the the build up and stuff of fight week and fight day. Like he's been to every one of my fights so far, and when I hear him shouting, "Go on, Daddy," or he'll like, the songs like "There's only one Bradley Axe." He'll like sing that and stuff, and just fills my heart with like love and joy knowing that he's there and he's singing that sort of stuff. So yeah, it's incredible.
Yeah, that's really sweet and supportive at the end of the day. So good.
There's a really nice photo actually. You might have seen it. He got in the ring after my last fight, and we had like a nice photo next to each other and stuff. I'll send it to you after if not. But yeah, it's fantastic.
Give us a shout out to the sponsor again, Brad. We always like to give the sponsor out on Ox Sports Unleashed. So
yeah, so shout out to Fire Evacuation Services again. Like I say, he come out to America with me and managed to watch the fight out there, which I never expect from anyone, let alone one of my sponsors that, to be honest, I hadn't even met face to face at the time. So yeah, it was fantastic for him coming out with me, and I really, really appreciate that.
So, fight at Stamford Bridge, the American against the UK situation with the I'm assuming quite a lot of boxers coming over to have that. What's after that? What's the sort of stage for you? Are you that far ahead, or is it's just those two at the moment? That's what I'm focusing on.
Yeah, so there's nothing penciled in yet. I've not got any dates. There's nothing major that's sort of screaming out at me yet. However, my plans for the year, so this will obviously be my fourth fight. I'm hoping to be on 8 by the end of the year, so I need another 3 fights after this one. Another 4 fights after this one. So quite a busy year, really. I want to be active. I want to be getting out there, and by the end of the year, I want to be knocking on the door for an area title. So you have area titles, which is like Southern area. That's what I'll be going to, the Southern area title. There's English and there's British, and then you have like European, etc., then world titles. But for me, yeah, I'll be looking at knocking on the door for one of my first titles.
So a regional final first, and then progression through. Interesting. Yeah, understand that. That's good. And again, that's a nice little progression through, isn't it? And it's nice to have those goals, and you can plan bit by bit then by not being too far ahead of yourself, I suppose.
That's it. And you never know what's next. I mean, there might be a bigger opportunity that comes up to go to America again and fight for this or fight for that. And now I'm pleasing the right people and doing the right things. More opportunities are going to come.
Yeah, no, that's great to hear. And I'm still a member of the Axe Gang, Brad.
That's it.
Which
just need you down at Stamford Bridge now with a big flag. That's what we need there.
That would be good. That would be good. I have to look at my diary. April 4th. I'd love to come to one. I really would.
I'm sure there'll be one that lines up at some point. It's like we were saying before off there. It's just life's busy, isn't it? And next thing you know, it's 6 months have gone past, and you're like, what's happened there?
But the cricket season is, well, I say it's around the corner. It doesn't feel like it weather-wise, but around the corner makes it even busier for me when that happens. It's typical. But yeah, I absolutely, it is on my bucket list. It's on my to-do list. I will get to one, I assure you, because I want to be supportive if I can. So basically, half term with the kids. How's that gone?
Yeah, good. I'm away today and tomorrow working, but it's been nice to be off. I've been off before that with my son during the day, so lots of entertaining, shall we say. Still getting the training in, which is good. I get my first session done in the morning, and then get the second session done in the evening when he's chilling out or when he's asleep. So yeah, still getting the work in, but a bit of fun in between with Oscar.
I assume you got a bit of a gym at home, have you? Does that
not at home, no, but where I live is about 5 minutes from where my main place of work is, Fire Service College. So there's a decent sized gym there. And then, like I said, in the evening, I'll drive down to Buckingham and train down there.
Yeah, brilliant. And is that every night?
Not every night, no. At the minute, it's probably 3 or 4 times a week.
Yeah.
Which is a lot of driving, but it's all worth it. And like I said, the sponsorship and stuff I have, that helps with that.
Yeah, no, brilliant. I think for the time being, Brad, very best of luck in your fight at Stamford Bridge. If I can get there, I will be there. I assure you. And good luck for the future. And keep in contact. We'll certainly be singing your praises on Oxsports Unleashed, and hope everything goes well. And thanks for joining us today.
Thank you so much, Darryl. It was great to be on, and we'll keep this relationship going, and I'll be back.
Good luck. Our thanks there to Brad Axe. Thanks for him joining us this afternoon. Fascinating insight to boxing and what it entails around family life as well, and the training. So really insightful. Always good to talk to Brad. And like we say, wish him all the very best in his next fight at Stamford Bridge. Our thanks there to young Brad Axe. A super interview over the 2 parts. I hope you enjoyed that as much as I enjoyed actually talking with the young man. We wish him all the very best of luck on the 4th of April at Stamford Bridge. Against the opposition is going to be a certain Brandon Grant. All our best goes out to Brad for that. We wish him the very best of luck. And as I'm a member of the Axe Gang, I will be cheering from the sideline. So if I can get there, I will. Not sure about my whereabouts at the moment. But Brad, good luck, mate. Hope it goes well for you. And I'm going to hand over to a very excited roller coaster ride. I mean, we've had some great exclusives on this show, but Colin, I'll hand over to you.
Yeah, so we all know that Oxfordshire is very famed for its F1 horsepower, the 4-wheel variety, but next up we focus on the 4-legged variety and flat racing. A couple of weeks back I got to chat to Mick Shannon, one of my all-time footballing heroes. Being a Southampton man, I know all about that. And you'll hear us at the end having a bit of a chat about football, because he's played for Southampton and Portsmouth and survived that experience as well. So Mick did enjoy a very impressive career with Southampton, where he won the FA Cup. He also went on to Norwich City, where he won the League Cup as well. He played for Man City. He also played for England. Then, unusually for a footballer, he went on to establish himself as a very successful flat racing trainer, with around 2,500 winners, before handing the racing licence to his youngest son, Jack, who runs what is now Jack Shannon Racing. Mick is still very heavily involved, though. It's very much of a family affair out at West Isley. You got his Mick Jr. And Jack Shannon all there on the day. And as we'll hear next, I cannot believe that Mick Shannon has finally retired.
Mick Shannon Senior. I've got to get this right, haven't I? Because it's Mick Shannon
Senior.
Well,
I am Senior, yeah. You've got that right.
I can't believe that you've retired from racing.
Well, I've retired from everything, I think. It's just a question of how much of life we got left, I think. I think that comes to most people eventually. But when you get to into your 70s, these type of things happen. And I'm lucky that I've still got a big interest in the horses, and Jack's taken over the business. And I'm a lucky lad that, I've still got interest in horses, which is something I can have until the day I die. The thing is, I need a few quid to keep them. That's the trouble.
I'm going to say, it's not called the sport of kings for no reason, is it? Because it does cost the king's ransom to buy a horse and keep it.
Well, that's right. I mean, it does cost money. I mean, they're rich men's toys. I've always said that. Hey, listen, he's made a great start to his training career. His first 2 years have been brilliant. He's got a nice crop of two-year-olds and a nice crop of older horses, which is more important, I think, for a young trainer, and to go to war with this year. But so we got something to look forward to. You know, I mean, it's one of them. And he's going to get married and do crazy things like we've all done. So it makes life that little bit interesting, doesn't it?
2 careers, but in your experience, which are brighter, horses or footballers?
Well, it certainly wouldn't be footballers. But mind you, I think whoever runs the sport, they've got football right, where we haven't got racing right. You know, people who run racing, Jesus Christ, I mean, good job they don't run a business. You know, good job they don't have to make it work. Unfortunately, that's the monster that we live with. You know, that's the elephant in the room. You might say that. We can't get enough money for our product that we produce for the public. and I think it always will be until someone is really interested. You know, someone that cares about racing and wants to see racing survive. And they don't think it's a cruel sport. You know, but having said that, it's not just that. It's everybody works so hard in the industry, and the horses and animals they've got to be looked after, and in horse racing they'll probably looked after better than human beings. They get their ass wiped twice a day, where human beings don't. You know, so it's difficult to sort of put your finger on it. But you know, there's a lot of people in horse racing care so much for the animals that we live with and we look after. Yeah, we have sad times. I mean, we had a sad day today. That lad dying in, you know, O'Sullivan dying in Ireland, you know, falling off a horse. But he was 24. He rode I bet from the age of 4 he rode every day. I bet he rode horses every day of his life, and it was a way of life. And to say give it up, it's like the rugby players now, isn't it? They're saying, oh, they're getting head injuries and that. They've said I've had one for years, so it doesn't matter, does it? Yeah. But no, you know, I've been lucky that I've been sort of reasonably clear of injuries, and as I said, I've lived to, you know, have some nice places, have a lot of fun, a lot of friends, you know, have been very good to me, and I've had a good business life as well as football life, if you know what I mean.
I bought a horse once. My son was a disabled dressage national champion. No, I didn't buy one for you. Don't worry, Mick. You're quite there.
I thought you were coming back for a few quid.
No. You rest assured you're okay.
Look at that. To be continued.
Yeah. There we are. We've got the first one there, exclusive with Mick Shannon. Very lucky to get that, I think so. And he's on fine form that day. Fantastic autobiography, very honest as well. But the one you want to read is this one by Mick Shannon Jr., his first son. How's your dad? The title of that book is because whenever they meet Mick Shannon Jr., they always don't ask him about him. They say, how's your dad? Right. So the first question I asked him, you'll see in a later interview, is, I know your dad's okay, mate, so how are you? So I switched it all around to him. But we were so lucky. Out of West Isley, Jack Shannon Racing, of course, there are flat races. The flat race season is coming up. We'll keep an eye on that because you've got a habit of actually picking Mick's metaphor, underdog horses, bringing them through. So, you know, if you want to see a Mick Shannon horse racing and they're not the favourite and they've got good odds, good shout to back them, I think.
Absolutely. I spoke to Paul Humphreys about Hot Cash, who's obviously been entered into the Derby, and the odds 150 to 1.
Oh, we should do that, shouldn't we?
We should definitely do that. Hot Cash. It sounds like a, you know, it should be a winner.
This time next year we'll be millionaires, won't we? We will be, mate.
Only fools and horses.
Yes,
well done.
Right.
Yeah. Anyway, we'll move on from that. Some little bit of sad news we received in the week about a certain young individual that's been really supportive of Oxsports Unleashed over the 2 series. He's come in and done 2 interviews. He's been great fun. He even did a montage of good bits and bad bits of Woodsy and KDog on the programme back on the Christmas special. Ben Cox has announced that he won't be driving in Formula Ford for the 2025 season. He's obviously wants to thank everybody who's got him to this point, and he's grateful for all the memories and support he's received. You can still follow him at #BCox82, and as he says in his social media, he will return. I will be back. He'll be a bit like Arnie Schwarzenegger. And we wish Ben the very best of luck, because he's a lovely lad. He's, like I say, he's been really supportive. He's given us 2 fantastic insights into Formula Ford racing, and only good words about Ben. We do hope that he gets back on the track in the not too distant future. We'll be keeping an eye on him and hopefully getting him back in, and seeing how he's doing, and so on and so forth. And with that, we had our little Ronnie in last week from Alpine Eagle Racing.
RF Racing 43, and we said we were going to sponsor him. That sponsorship has actually gone up to £100, I can announce tonight. So the £100 will be winging its way to Alpine Eagle and Rocket Ronnie, as we christened him last week. So I hope that goes a little way to helping your sponsorship deals through the next season, with the summer season coming up very shortly for him. So little Rocky Ronnie, we wish you the very best of luck for 2025 and hope that goes some way to help. With that, take from the four-wheel to the cricket ball and the village knockout. And the draw was made a few weeks ago, and the Oxfordshire preliminary round shows Oxford Downs have a home tie against local rivals, actually, Langford Cricket Club. They've had some battles in the VKO in recent times, so it will be interesting to see that game at Stanlake. I have spoken to Langford because it's so early in the season, the 13th of April, to get their pitch ready as well, just in case things weather-wise don't go according to plan. And as you can see, in round one, if Downs or Langford get through, they play Kingston Bagpies. And in round one, Cumnor have a home tie versus Goring-on-Thames, and Shipton under Wychwood also have a home tie against Challow and Childry. Some good ties there, and we wish everybody in the VKO. It's a wonderful competition. Final is played at Lords in September. It's prestigious.
How many overs?
40 overs, 8 overs a bowler. It's a really good Sunday afternoon outing, actually. And sometimes here at Stanlake, there's over 300 people watching. Brilliant. So it's a real event. Support your local village knockout champions. So get down to your local cricket club and support. And some news for Oxford Cricket Club. They've actually signed this week Stefani Taylor, West Indian international women's player. Will be interesting to see how she goes into their side, and we wish Stefani and Oxford Cricket Club all the very best for the season in 2025. And it's not long away now. The first game's about a month away.
I'm looking forward to the cricket season. Hopefully we'll get a slightly better summer than we did last year, because
please.
I watched a lot of rain at Hampshire last year, but there we are.
So I think that takes us to our normal roundup, I think, Colin, doesn't it?
It does indeed. We do tables and fixtures first, we've been told by our producer, so you can hear him in the background there, waving his arms around and pointing and shouting, which is great for video, but there you go. This is live, okay, so enjoy. Live. Right, tables and fixtures. We're doing tables first, are we, sir, young producer?
There we go.
Oh, we are, right then. So Oxford United, 20th, that is looking a bit dodgy now, you see, because Luton Town, Derby, they picked up points recently, so this weekend they are at home, fixtures coming up in a minute. But they are at home to Watford, so that's a must-win game now. So they need probably about 50 points, we think, to stay up. So 4 more wins should do it, but they are still going in the wrong direction as things stand. It's part of changing their manager, Gary Rowett, doing well. Right, next up, what have we got then? Probably we're going to go to National League North, and Oxford City are in an even more perilous position. 35 points there, just 2 points clear of Needham Market again, but Needham Market have goals. They've got games in hand, Oxford City, so they must start to win them. But we know that Reece Fleet's out with a straight red card. We think Josh Ashby is also going to be out, having accumulated far too many red cards. But look at that goal difference there, minus 23. That's 7-0 thrashing at home. Could prove crucial as he'll try and stay into the National League North. Right, next up, Mr. Patrick. I shall point at him, I think, so there we go. Right, Banbury United 15th, okay, 42 points. They are clear of the relegation zone by some margin as well, but I'm sure they want to pick up a few more points to make it a slam dunk and stay in that particular league. And Next up,
121.
we are going to find Tame United. There they are. They were, I thought, they just snuck into the promotion slots there. But shown here as 6th, okay, on 57 points. They are knocking on the door, though. And still in the, as we heard earlier on, in the final with Ardley of the Oxfordshire Senior Cup as well. So well on track to get some silverware this season as well. Unfortunately, Kiddington, well, they had a slight revival there, but they are still behind. And you see there they're one place into the relegation zone, but you also see that Norwood have got games in hand over them. So we need Norwood to go on a very, very bad run now.
Definitely do.
But that Kiddington goal was minus 43 could in the end do for them, even if Norwood do actually start to lose points. North Lee, though, still bottom with just 8 points, which I think is one less than Southampton. Okay, Premiership something like that. Sorry, Mick Shannon. There we go. Okay, Didcot Town, though, they're picking up points now, so they're 11th. They looked safe to me, but still a fair way to go in this season. Easton Sports, 15th, 28 points. 2 go down, not sure how relevant it is to go down in this in these lower leagues. Ardley, though, 9th, doing well. We wish Jules all the best as he leaves the club. I keep forgetting what Wallingford and Cromarsh. Thank you very much, producer. 11th with 38 points. I apologise again. Okay, so and Milton United on 14th. Wantage Town going well. Look at that. But will they actually Droitwich Spa look as though they're slam dunk going to win the league. But Wantage, their playoff places in 2nd place on 58 points there, so doing pretty well. Abingdon just outside the playoff places in 6th, and Clanfield just below them on 7th there. Nice to see local teams, Darryl, isn't it? To actually get a bit of a local derby going with really sides good. As well. So. Hellenic League Division 1 continuing reserves 13th, and Carlton unfortunately rock bottom as things stand, so minus 57 points. Okay, so it's probably one of the worst defensive positions in the league so far we've seen. Women's National League, Oxford United 4th with 35 points. Abbey United Ladies 9th on 14 points. Big gaps there between them and the next teams above. Oxford City Women, though, doing really well. They're 3rd, okay, on 29 points.
That takes us to the upcoming football fixtures on Saturday the 15th of March. And as Colin has said, that EFL Championship game, Oxford United at home at the Castan against Watford. Crucial for them to win. Let's hope they get 3 points. That's going to be really interesting to watch. In the National League North, Oxford City on their travels to the Impact Arena, and they will take on Alfreton. In the Southern League Premier Central, Banbury United are at home to Royston Town at the Banbury Plant Hire Community Stadium. And in the Division 1 South, Didcot Town, and we'll get it right, Colin, shall we?
Yes.
It's the Lute Meadows Stadium, and it's Muzzle.
Muzzle, that's right, yep, absolutely right. Spot on.
Hopefully Didcot can continue the form. We had no interview with Jamie Heapy this week. I missed a little bit of JB this week, I have to say. Still on Saturday, 15th of March, Southern League Division 1 Central. Kidlington have a home tie at... home tie, it's not a tie at all, it's a home game at Yarnton Road against Ware. And Tame United are also home at the ASM Stadium, and they will take on Beaconsfield Town. Combined Counties Premier North, Ardley United home against Broadfields United at Ardley Playing Fields, and Milton United, who have got a few games in hand actually. They could go up that division a little bit, and against Harefield United, and that's at Wallingford Sports Park. And in the United Counties Premier South, Easington Sports take on St Noet's Town at Addison Road. In the Hellenic League Division 1, Clanfield 85 are on their travels to Bewdley Town, and Carterton have a home tie at Kilkenny Lane against Droitwich Spa.
Come on, Carterton, get off that bomb.
Okay.
And Kidlington Reserves are on their travels to chip in Sodbury Town at the Ridings. And Aberdeen United also travelling to Bromfield Road to play Ludlow Town. And the Chairman's Cup, Sunday the 16th, is Oxford City women against Wimborne Town at the M Group Stadium. And that was the fixtures for this coming week.
Absolutely. Now, do we have the league tables? We've done the league tables, haven't we? So what have we got?
We've got the results.
Fixtures.
We've got the results, look.
Have we?
Yeah, we've got the results. And we say this every week. Where do you get this? We've probably just slightly not got everything sports-wise this week, but still a full roundup of your football and your hockey results. Here's the results from last weekend. There we go. It's like BBC. No, it's like ITV with all repeats. You get some results. They're so good they come along twice in the rugby. So we apologise for last week's rugby. Everything else was totally up to up to scratch.
Up to our normal standard.
Up to normal standard. We don't just throw this programme together, Roller Coaster. You know that, don't you?
Absolutely, yeah.
Oh, yes, we do. Our thanks there to everybody who's put that together, a full roundup and some history as well, which is always good, always good to have on the programme. As we mentioned, if you want to get involved, and goodness me, we need help, don't we? We need help. If you want to get involved and help us with any editing, anything to
bring the results out, do get in contact. Our email address again is oxsportsunleashed@gmail.com. We'd be pleased to hear from you. We've got a good team of volunteers. We've said this before. We put this together through volunteers. It's hard work getting these interviews to you. Trimmed, looking really, really good for your viewing. So if you're a budding editor or social media guru, please get in contact with us to add to our team. It will be fantastic. That email address again is oxsportsunleashed@gmail.com. I think that's just about it for this week,
Good.
Colin, but your highlight?
Yeah, well, Mick Shannon, clearly, I think so. But
my
also
highlight.
Brad Axe too. I mean, sort of the span of sports we bring you to try and plug the gap, which unfortunately is being left sometimes by our local professional media, as it were, is what we're trying to do. So bring grassroots sport to you as much as possible. Coming up, I hope to have an interview with a long-time sports photographer, Mike Allen, as well, known to Oxford fans, but now producing photographs for the Oxford Mail. And a new sport to us as well, real tennis coming up. So if you don't know what real tennis is, keep subscribing to Ox Sports Unleashed, because you'll find out all about it here.
Well, very well said, Colin. Couldn't have said it better myself, actually. We always say at the end of the programme, if you've liked anything you've watched tonight, please do like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. You can follow us on social media, X at oxsportsu, and on Instagram and Facebook is Ox Sports Unleashed. That's where you can find us. There's loads of things going on. We do set up some YouTube shorts and loads of TikToks and goodness knows what else. So if you have liked it, please do like and subscribe to our channel. Our subscribers are going up quite considerably over Series 2. So if we could get up to 400 by the end of this series, we would be happy with that, I have to say. So obviously we want more, because we want to monetize the channel and then put some money back into grassroots sports, but that's probably for another day. I think that just about wraps it up for this week. So thanks again for tuning in and watching us live on a Thursday night at 8 o'clock. We'll be back next week, again live, with interviews, again with Mick Shannon, possibly a little bit of an insight into Jack Shannon, and also Tame United Women. We'll be interviewing a selection of people from there in the coming weeks. So stay tuned for that for next week. So with that, I will say please join us again, and we'll unleash some more Ox Sports. It's good night from me.
And good night from me.